We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today. Shall we start here on the daily? Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. Well, what's happening? It's been increasing over the last 50 years since we've been out there. The government has been bigger. Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we bring you the latest in everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about the major rally that is going on right now in Bitcoin, why that's taking place, and where Bitcoin is going next. As you guys know, we like to take a deep dive into Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets every single weekday here on Coffee and Crypto. And then we also have some videos that come out every, right now, once a week, every Saturday, where we talk about the market in a lot more detail. So you can look forward to that video coming out tomorrow at 10 a.m. You can go back and watch a lot of those videos that we put out over the last month and a half or so since we started that series called Climate of Crypto. And I'm excited to announce that we are going to be uploading 2 of those videos a week now, starting on Wednesday of next week. That will be a new time slot for Climate of Crypto content. I'm really looking forward to that. Still getting everything settled down from after having the baby, but we're starting to settle into a good routine, and I think we're going to be able to make sure that we are bringing you guys some high-quality educational content, teaching you guys everything that you need to know about cryptocurrency markets so that you can survive, thrive, profit, and succeed. And ultimately, it is our hope that you would achieve financial sovereignty in this world where you are no longer subservient to your finances, but your finances are a servant to you. That is ultimately the core message of this channel. So let's go ahead and read chat because a ton of you guys have already tuned in. We've already got 200 people in chat. Thank you so much for watching, everyone who is here today. Alex Nibo in chat said, good morning. Good morning to you too, Alex Nibo. Daniel J in chat said morning. Anthony Roldan said morning, fam. Good morning to you as well. Queen gave us the hearts. Heart back to all of you guys. Alipio Rodriguez said good morning. Philly Skills at 1428 said, ayo, what's up, man? Wisely T, who is a moderator and a Jebbi Grand Council member, said good morning. Wisely T also, I'm sorry, Mike Lowry is a moderator and a Jebbi Knight. Wisely T, who has been frequenting our chat lately, said, happy Friday. Chicken and egg question. What comes first? Short, long squeezes or the news event that comes with them? Well, it's not so simple as to say that one always precedes the other, because that really does depend on what happened in that. You kind of have to figure out case by case what happened. It's not always that one's going to lead to the other. But what I will say is that normally a news event that will lead to a long or a short squeeze, whether it be bullish news driving the market to the upside causing a short squeeze, or bearish news driving the market to the downside causing a long squeeze, typically the news will come first, but it's also very possible that a short or long squeeze is going on at the same time that news breaks. Oftentimes I think the news would be something that would drive that, but it really does depend on the scenario. Being BTC Crypto Alerts said, "Orning. Good orning to you too, my friend." MeTube, not YouTube, MeTube said evening. Just simply evening. Sean Gall said, happy Friday, Jebb. Happy Friday to you as well. Grand Roofing Incorporated in chat said, good morning, everybody. We got Queen, John James Power, Lucas Hall, Colin McDonald, Eric Ward, Crypto Rebels, Up and Down We Go. That's a good name for cryptocurrency, isn't it? Good morning. How's the kid doing? They're both doing pretty well. One of them's in preschool. The other one is quite hungry. Charity eats a lot, and she definitely is. She's definitely a good eater and a good sleeper. She does very well with that too. So we're very excited to for our daughter who just came into the world on April 11th. For any of you guys who didn't know that. When People's in chat said, good morning and God bless. Good morning to you as well. All right. It is 10:10. Let's go ahead and jump straight onto CoinMarketCap. Bitcoin right now is sitting at $29,173.62. It is up 0.5% over the last 24 hours. It is up, excuse me. It is up 4% over the last 7 days and up 26% over the last 90. Now, the first thing I want to point out here is this 7-day price action chart. I think you guys can see this. I don't know if you'll be able to see the full thing. but I'm going to show you the actual chart here in a moment anyway. There's quite a lot of volatility in Bitcoin, quite a lot of almost EKG, electrocardiogram kind of movement going on, where Bitcoin's just moving up and down and up and down, and it doesn't really seem to have a lot of rhyme or reason. And that's something that we're going to talk about in tomorrow's video, where I will talk to you guys about why I believe Bitcoin's going to go into a major rally before May 10th, and through May 10th, we will see the market going into a big rally. Where? Well, you have to wait and see that video tomorrow. But what I can tell you is that very likely Bitcoin is witnessing a lot of volatility right now that is leading to analysts having a much more difficult time understanding what the market is doing. What do I mean? Well, quite simply, this market is acting very sporadic. It is not at this very moment following technical analysis to a T like it has been doing so far this year. It's kind of gone off the beaten path a little bit, and there could be a couple of implications for that. Number one, it could mean that Bitcoin just simply is breaking out of the structure that put it into a major rally that we've seen so far this year in the first place, and now it's kind of moving of its own volition. It's almost grown a mind of its own. Think about like you have a child growing up, and they're young, and they pretty much, if they're an obedient and well-behaved and well-parented child, they're going to do what their parents tell them to do most of the time, right? Then you get to teenage years, and, you know, a lot of times in ancient cultures, if you turn 13, you're an adult. So now you have 13 to 18-year-olds now being told what to do by their parents. They're like, this is weird. Like, I normally, throughout human history, I was making my own decisions by now, right? So they get a little bit more like, I don't need you. I'm going to go make my own decisions. And some of that's rebellion. Some of it's just healthy maturation. It's kind of what Bitcoin's doing right now. It feels like it's just been kind of following the rules over the last 4 months. And now it's kind of bucked the trend and said, no, I think I'm going to do my own thing because this rally has matured. And that's actually a good thing. It's actually a very prudent thing to pay close attention to the market and to pay close attention to when it starts doing things of its own volition and breaks the previous trends that got it into the rally in the first place, because now it's able to rally and do it on its own terms. That shows some independence. And if this rally is able to move in an independent way of all of our technical analysis, then fine, set your own technical analysis. Market, we are not in the business of telling the market what to do. We're in the business of listening to the market and then responding with our trades and our investments. But we do not tell the market what to do, because that will only get us in trouble. So we're not going to tell the market, follow this trend. We would never say it that way, but a lot of times we say, well, Bitcoin's supposed to follow this trend. You're saying the same thing. What we need to do is say, okay, is Bitcoin breaking this trend? Yes? No? Maybe so. We need to go ahead and pay attention to that. That may be what Bitcoin is doing right now. Bitcoin very well may be entering into a period where, yes, it is going to follow certain trends, and I do think that there's a certain trend that Bitcoin is following. Again, we'll talk about that more in tomorrow's video, so stay tuned for that. But what I will say is that even if Bitcoin is not following a very specific trend, it is still in a lot of bullishness. And that's where I really want to start. Bitcoin right now is up 26% over the last 90 days, up 74% year to date. Ethereum is up 20% over the last 90 days, up 57% year to date. BNB up 5% over the last 90 days, up 32% year to date. XRP is up 15% over the last 90 days, up 38% year to date. Cardano is up 4.58% over the last 90 days, up 60% year to date. Dogecoin's down, as it should be. Polygon is down slightly over the last 90 days, and so too is Solana. So we're getting a little bit wrecked on as you go down the top 10, but Bitcoin and Ethereum are managing to charge forward. The mother and father of Bitcoin, if you will, are doing very well, and I suppose we could say that the kids are lagging a little bit behind over the last 90 days. Not exactly a great sign. It could mean that the parents need to be doing a better job, but nevertheless, the point here is that Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing very well, and that led total cryptocurrency market capitalization through a major rally above $1.181 trillion, and it broke it to the upside all the way to $1.25 trillion, and that is exceptionally good news. Now, let's back up. There is a piece of data that we need to pay close attention to, and that shows up over on a website called coinglass.com/liquidations. Excuse me, not liquidations. It is liquidation data, I believe is the website. Oh, it's not giving me the website. Okay, well, you guys can come here with me and we'll just go and navigate to it ourselves. It is coinglass.com/liquidation data. Okay, HTML lied to me, or HTTPS lied to me because that's what I typed in. Anyway, what we saw over the last couple of days was a major short squeeze. We talked about this at length where we saw a $17 million short squeeze here at the 1600 hour on the 25th. Then we saw a $11 million short squeeze not long thereafter. Then we saw a $43 million rally, $43 million short squeeze that happened here on the 26th. That led Bitcoin to the upside. But what we didn't talk about, because we weren't live yesterday, apologies for that, by the way, there were some pretty important things that we were dealing with that came up last minute due to postpartum. We saw a massive long squeeze. And this is really kind of what I was telling. Oh, goodness. Who was it that was in chat? I'm trying to remember their name. They're probably in chat right now. Shermanation. I was talking to Shermanation on the stream on Wednesday, and I said that you should probably be careful about being in a short position right here until you get confirmation. Well, Shermanation, I don't know if you're in stream. I don't know if you're in stream chat right now, but you did get some confirmation. You got some very, very quick confirmation. When we started going parabolic like this, right around like, let's see, right around like right here, that's where you start thinking, oh, wow, this is a very bearish movement. And I'm really hoping our friend Shermanation saw that and either exited his trade in profit right back over here when we were live. We were live right here. I was giving him some tips right in this area. And then it just continued sideways. It would not have been a bad idea for him to exit right here and then re-enter right over here. Hoping that he caught that because he was looking for a short. But when Bitcoin did go through that massive correction, it was as a result of $118 million in longs getting liquidated within the same time frame. What's going on here, very simply, is this. The market is flat, plumb confused. And it makes sense. You can't blame the market for being a little bit confused right now, considering the fact that the market has been moving so aggressively in both directions and whipping around violently as a result of longs and shorts. This, my friends, is an area where you are just simply not able to make a lot of very confident predictions in the short term, because right now this market is being driven by longs and shorts. One thing I can show you is that there is a downtrending level of resistance. It's really more like a zone of resistance, but we'll just call it a downtrending level for simplicity's sake right now. There's a downtrending level / zone of resistance here on the 1 hourly chart for Bitcoin. That is also showing up on the 4 hourly chart, of course, and on the 4 hourly chart, we also have downtrending levels of resistance on the MACD here, and also on the RSI, as you can see right here. We're also seeing a bearish 4 hourly MACD cross coming into play on Bitcoin over US dollars right now. We've also seen a double top here on Bitcoin relatively recently, and the reason that that's not necessarily the best news is because on the MACD, we've seen an increasing in the MACD, indicating there's a little bit of bearish MACD divergence. Now, that being said, the MACD was converging bearish on itself, so that's not the end of the world, especially since we don't see RSI divergence that's pushing us to the downside. Bitcoin really right now is kind of just having a bit of an early life crisis here, maybe a midlife crisis here in this rally. It really just doesn't know exactly what to do with itself, and it's lost a little bit of its identity. Started breaking that identity when it started breaking the trend here in early April, and we didn't go through the necessitated correction. You remember, this is where a lot of our predictions started going a little bit wrong, which is interesting because we were predicting based off of a model that Bitcoin was following. But of course, remember, we don't want to conform Bitcoin to the model. We want to conform the model to Bitcoin. And so we have to be careful about that. But this was right when the model started breaking. The model that Bitcoin would go through, I mean, we show it on this screen right here. The model that Bitcoin would go through a big rally around CPI data release, sideways action, and then a correction. Instead of seeing a correction, Bitcoin rallied. Did the exact opposite of what it was told to do right after I made that video on, and I say told to do facetiously, right after I made that video right here on Thursday, April the 6th is when I shot it, telling you about the CPI cycles. Bitcoin was supposed to go through a correction down to 25,236 to maintain healthy rally, healthy bull market presence. It did not do that. Instead, Bitcoin decided to go through a major rally, instead rallying several $1,000s. Ever since then, Bitcoin has been in this apparent state of confusion. It's not quite sure what to do with itself because it had this very elegant trend. Rally around CPI, trade sideways in between, correct until the next CPI movement, then rally, sideways, correction, rally, sideways. Wait, where's the correction? Oh my goodness, we're rallying. What? Now we're dropping. I thought we're supposed to be rallying right now. What? We're not moving sideways, we're moving up. What's going on? That's what happened. The market started getting thrown off balance right here. Have you ever seen let's see if I can find a video of this. See if I can find a video of this. No, not the movie. I didn't know there was a movie. Hang on. I don't know if I'll be able to find this. Yes, okay, I think some of these pictures will help. Have you ever seen somebody with a truck hauling a camper, or a semi-truck, or a car hauling a camper, and you see it start to fishtail back and forth violently? That occurs because there is something that is making that arrangement unstable. It could be the way that the trailer is mounted onto the truck. It could be the way that the weight is distributed in the truck. It could be the orientation of the axles. It could be a tire that is out of balance. It could be a number of different things. But if ever you see a truck that's fishtailing back and forth, this is probably the best picture I can give you to kind of show it without showing you a video. Where you have, here's another one. You see how you can sometimes have like an Airstream trailer veer sideways? This right here. This is always because that we get knocked off balance. Think about it like this. If you have a chain, like I'm wearing a chain. Here we go. I am wearing a cross. I'll show you what I mean. If you have a cross, I can pull this cross and it'll be taut. Let me just see real quick if that is in focus. Yes, it is. I can pull this cross and it'll be taut, right? And I can pull it along. But if I try to push this cross, it doesn't work. Something got thrown off balance. I'm not doing things the way that they ought to be done. I am expecting something of a physical reality that simply is unattainable. And that is what Bitcoin was doing when it exited this movement. Bitcoin started fishtailing violently to the upside and to the downside, now to the upside, now to the downside. What we now need is we need Bitcoin to come under the reins of a skilled driver. Now, there is no one driver, and I'm not advocating for a whale to come in and do this, but Bitcoin needs to come under the reins of a skilled metaphorical driver that will bring Bitcoin back under control, stop it from fishtailing violently, and find itself a new trend. I do believe that there is hope for the CPI cycle, but that hope is going to be confirmed or denied within the next 2 weeks. Again, we'll talk about that more in tomorrow's upcoming video. For now, all of you guys, what you need to understand is that Bitcoin is moving around sporadically right now, which means on the 4-hour to daily chart, it's a little bit difficult to make predictions. Down on the 1-hourly chart, it's a completely different world. There's plenty of trade opportunities down there, so in no way do I mean that it's a no trade zone down there. On the daily chart, we are running into some difficulty accurately predicting things because Bitcoin is not acting in a way that is very conducive to understanding what it is doing. That being said, again, I do have a theory, my best theory that I can give you, that as to where Bitcoin will be going over the next 2 weeks. That will be coming up in tomorrow's video. All right, I want to go ahead and read chat here a little bit. It is Friday, and one of the things I like doing on Friday is kind of just asking a lot of questions from you guys and interacting with chat. BetaBot said 417 watching, but only 93 likes. I know, right? Can we get some more likes on the stream? I really appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. CMGZ510 said, hi, Jebb and Jebbians, lol. Hello. I have a truck and I haul my cat. Yeah, it's called physics. Yes, that is definitely what we're talking about. Jeff Oldfield said, studio looks amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Colin McDonald said, love your analogies, Jebb, priceless. Yes, sometimes they're helpful. Sometimes they're just like, what in the world are you talking about? But hopefully they are at least edging in the realm of helpful. Jojo said, good morning, all, and Jebb fans, especially Bitcoin and the crypto space fans. Absolutely. That is right. Thank you all for tuning in, and good morning to you. Colin McDonald said, the sell may has not always been the case. Do your own research, please. Time and market is is better than timing the market. That is totally right. I absolutely agree. Couldn't agree more. Crypto Jebb will part the sea and feed the many with his wisdom. And that's Chuck Norris saying that. Wow, Chuck Norris is saying that. Man, that's really some clout. I'll take a screenshot of that. CMGZ510 said, my cat's breath smells like cat food. Okay. All right. Guys, hit that like. Thank you, guys. Let's see. Mike Lowry saying, follow Crypto Jebb on Twitter. Yes, thank you. Let's see. The Hybrid Family said, good morning, Crypto Jebb. Now would be a great time for any of you guys that have any questions to go ahead and tell me what you are curious about. Queen said, Charity. Yes, that is our daughter's name. Thank you so much. May is generally a lower market top, so please be aware. Yes, a lot of times that's the case, but that's not every time. We can talk about that trend a little bit more as well. Here's a cool name. Jesse Van Den Wijkert said, good morning from Holland. I said Jesse. Is it Yessie or is it Jesse? Jesse Van Den Vleckert. I'm sorry, I thought that was an I. It's an L. Good morning to you guys as well. All right. Hey, Jebb and Sarah and community from Cornwall, United Kingdom. Do you speak Cornish? If you're from Cornwall, I've got to ask. Because I've been told Cornish is a beautiful language that is slowly and sadly dying. I'm sorry to hear that. Kevin Flores said, hey, Jebb, we met last year at the Bitcoin conference. Will you be attending this year's event in Miami? I will not. If they're in Miami next year, we will be probably attending. I'm not going to be able to this year. We just had a baby. Brass tacks, that's literally what it comes down to. And we're still trying to get used to that because it's a lot having a 2-year-old and a baby and a company and being relatively newly married. We've only been married about a little over a year, so there's a lot going on. Lucas Hall said, hey, Jebb, is Club DeFi TA a lifetime access? Yes, it absolutely is. In fact, let's go ahead and mention that for a second. If you guys are not familiar, Club DeFi is the place where we teach you guys everything that you need to know about technical analysis in a one-stop shop package where we can help you guys to really get a great understanding of technical analysis. See, the thing is, most people try and do technical analysis and they just don't really understand it. There is so much to learn in technical analysis, and it can be very complicated and very confusing if you are not careful. And so I want to help you guys learn technical analysis, and that's why we created Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis. So you can make sure to check that out with the link in the description box down below. All right. Good morning, Jebb. Hi from Michigan. Hello from Florida. I've been up to Michigan one time. It is a beautiful, beautiful state. Both sides of my wife's family hail from Michigan. It's a very beautiful state. Let's see. I hope mom and baby are healthy. They are doing well. Let's see here. Good morning from Michigan. Yes, absolutely. I finally know I missed the bear market gain. Yeah, there's a lot of money that you can make in a bear market. That's absolutely right. Do you think $25,000 is likely support? Yes, I think $25,236 is a critical level of support. Showing you that here on the chart, $25,236 is the top of 3 different levels that came into play critically earlier on this year. The first and foremost being $21,500. That level of support was dictated by our local top that we set 4 days before November the 8th when FTX collapsed and burned. We set that high at 21.5 on November the 5th. I'm sorry, I said 4 days, 3 days before. On November the 5th, we set a local top at $21,500. On Tuesday, the 13th of September, we set a local top at $22,808. And on Sunday, August the 14th, Bitcoin set a local top at $25,236. These were the 3 major levels of resistance that Bitcoin had to push through earlier on this year to be able to break out into its current tradings range in between 25,236 and 37,400. We've been doing an exceptionally good job of staying above 25,236 and not even coming back and back testing it. At the moment, that does constitute what we would call the floor of the market. It's a very important level, one that we're watching very, very closely. That is absolutely right. Yes, indeed. All right. Knarl bis Viken. Cornwall forever. Yes, a dying language, sadly, but some choose to learn and older folks still speak. You're so diversely knowledgeable. Well, thank you. I've watched a lot of random YouTube videos in my life. Yes, Cornish is, from what I know, a very beautiful language, but like I said, it is I have heard that it is sadly a dying language. Cornwall is, let's just go way off the books here today. Cornwall is the little tip of the British Isles, right here. The little bitty tip of the British Isles, the little peninsula over here. It's got its own language that's, what, like 3,000 years old? Cornish. How old is Cornish? Not a Cornish chicken. Cornish language. It is a revived language, having become extinct as a living community language in Cornwall at the end of the 18th century. Wow. It was revived in the 20th century. I did not know that it was revived. That's very interesting. How about that? Cool. All right, as for some technical analysis questions, let's see what you guys have to say. Lucas Milosavljevic. Let me see if I can pronounce this. This is Icelandic, maybe? Milosavljevic. Tell me if I got that right. Hey, Jebb, I've been following these live streams for some time now. You're awesome. I just wanted to ask, what are some crucial things to look out for when Bitcoin's breaking support and resistance? Love that question. Love that question. I'll tell you why. Whenever Bitcoin is breaking out of support or resistance, a few of the things you need to look for are confirmations. That's something that we talk about in the principles of technical analysis over here in Club DeFi, actually. It's one of the first things we talk about. Confirmations. The 7th video. We put it really early because it was very, very important. If Bitcoin's breaking a level of support or resistance, then you need to look at a smattering of other technical factors to see what is confirming or denying that breakout. For example, if Bitcoin breaks a level of resistance and the relevant LuxAlgo does not flash bullish, then you have not seen confirmation. Let's find an example on the chart. I'm sure I can find one pretty quickly here for you. Go to LuxAlgo here. Let's say we're trying to figure out if Bitcoin's going into a major market reversal. We saw Bitcoin broke some resistance here above $20,000, went into a rally, saw the buy signal, but it wasn't confirmed. No, we don't have confirmation. We broke the resistance, but it's not confirmed. Bitcoin's probably not going to actually be in a confirmed rally until we see LuxAlgo converge, cross bullish here. That's what happened. Bitcoin ends up falling over. That is unfortunate, but it is a true fact of things. We see Bitcoin will run into this state where it just simply will not be able to rally as much as you would like if it does not get confirmation. You have to wait for the confirmation before you actually go into the trade. Waiting for the confirmation is very, very important because if you don't wait for the confirmation, then you're trading baselessly. If you were trading based off of one technical indicator, you might as well be trading off of none. In the Bible, whenever there was an accusation made because there wasn't, forensic evidence, there wasn't fingerprints, there weren't security cameras, there was basically only eyewitness testimony. And anybody that works in criminal justice will know that eyewitness testimony is one of the lowest forms of evidence because people do this thing called lying. They also do this thing called misunderstanding or not seeing things appropriately. Human eyes do not make very good security cameras. So, in biblical times, you would need to bring 2 or 3 witnesses to confirm that a crime had taken place. In fact, in Matthew 18:16, it says, but if he will not hear you, then take with thee 1 or 2 more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. So that's if you're rebuking somebody. You rebuke somebody and say, you are in sin, and then they don't repent. Then what you do next is you bring 2 or 3, you bring 1 or 2 other people, but if he will not hear thee, then bring with thee 1 or 2 more. You bring 1 or 2 other people so that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, you and then the 1 or 2 others, every word may be established so that there will be multiple eyewitnesses. It's similar in cryptocurrency. One technical indicator is not enough to guarantee that a market has moved into an uptrend or into a downtrend. You want to follow Matthew 18:16's advice and bring 1 or 2 more so that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established. You want to bring 1 or 2 other technical indicators, at least, if not even more, to ensure that what you are seeing, a breakout, is actually confirmed. You can say, oh, I think something's going on here if it's just you, but you didn't go to the church with somebody's sin and then excommunicate them before you brought 2 or 3 more, and they basically flat out admitted to it because you needed to have the proof, because we can't judge the heart. My point here is to make an analogy, not to go into the interpretation of that scripture, but the point of that scripture was to say that since we can't read people's hearts and we don't know anything for certain about other people's motives, we need a few people to, for the sake of protecting the innocent, we need a few different people to see this happen and watch the person commit a sin, or say that they're going to, or say that they're okay with this, and then not be repentant of it at all. And then we're going to give them a little bit of time and grace, and then we're going to take it to the church. It must be escalated, because if you're walking as a Christian, you can't be walking in sin, or you're taking the Lord's name in vain. My point is that you would take 1 or 2 witnesses. Same thing in cryptocurrency with our technical indicators. It's very interesting how God's word can apply in a multitude of different ways. When you are seeing a breakout on a market, you don't wait for only one indicator. You wait for at least 2 or 3. And once you've seen 2 or 3 indications that the market's moving in the same direction, that's where you start to get more confidence. Because while in criminal justice, you have to prove something beyond a shadow of beyond a reasonable doubt, or beyond a shadow of a doubt. In civil, it's beyond a reasonable doubt. In criminal justice, it's beyond a shadow of a doubt. In criminal justice, you have to prove something beyond a shadow of a doubt. In cryptocurrency, you at least want to back it up with as much as you possibly can that the market is moving in a certain direction. That is where you will make wise trades. That is where you will make trades that you are not going to get burned on as often. I am not the kind of person who's going to tell you Bitcoin moved 5 feet, or excuse me, $5. It moved 5 inches. It must now be about to go into a $2,000 rally. Time to go 100x leverage. If you lose your butt, whatever. If you lose 90 trades and you make 10 right, then you'll make money. That's not what I'm preaching. I want you guys to be financially responsible. The Bible also talks about if you are trying to build wealth, the best way to do it, and unfortunately I don't have that verse memorized, but it's in Proverbs. If you're trying to, I think it might be in Deuteronomy. Anyway, if you're trying to build wealth, you want to do it persistently, a little bit over time. And I've heard people call this the get rich slowly movement. The longer it takes for you to build up your wealth, the more likely it is that you're going to hold on to it with longevity. Similarly, if you were trying to make a bunch of really frankly stupid and uninformed trades, then you're going to get burned. You're also going to get how should we say, disenfranchised with the market, and you're going to leave and you're not going to come back because you're going to be so hurt by the market. But look, here's the thing. The market's not a living being, so it didn't sin against you. You were the one at fault. You want to make sure that you are trading and investing and doing technical analysis in a way that is conducive towards long-term success, because just like if you were in the gym, you don't want to work out so hard for a week that you injure yourself and you can't work out for 6 months, because then you're just not going to get anything done and you have this injury. Same thing in cryptocurrency. Shoot for longevity, even if that means you miss out on the beginning of a trade because you're waiting on 1 or 2 more confirmations. That is the wise thing to do. My vision is not to help you get rich quickly based off of a bunch of, oh, pick these 5 altcoins to become a millionaire. I'm not actually against that kind of content saying, hey, if you invest in this altcoin with this strategy, it could make you $1 million. I'm not against that because that is a rational argument. But I don't want to invest in the sensationalism. I want to teach you guys the wisdom that will bring about true wealth that you will be able to live comfortably from. I want you to have financial sovereignty, and that starts up here. For you to be financially sovereign, that is a spiritual and that is a mental battle. I'm here to tell you that if you're trying to become financially sovereign in the cryptocurrency space, or in the real estate market, or in the stock market, or just through your traditional income, whatever it is, and you've got greed going on up here, or you've got impatience going on up here, or you've got some kind of spiritual wickedness going on in your mind, that is going to hold you back. What do I mean? You're thinking, Jebb, you're calling me wicked? No, hang on. Let me explain. If you're doing something in a way that you should not be doing, that is a form of wickedness. And one of the ways that we can be wicked is by being greedy. By being greedy to say, I want this now. I will not wait. I will not wait. I want this right now. So I am going to force my way into a trade. I'm going to force my way into an investment. I'm going to force my way into a promotion by being a jerk about it. I'm going to force my way into something. That's just one example of how wickedness can lead us to making very dumb financial decisions. If you are trying to be successful in the cryptocurrency space, the battle starts up here in your mind. Technical analysis is the tool. It's a hammer. It's an excavator. It's a front-end loader. It's a steamroller. Call it whatever you want. It's a tool. But the tool is only as useful as the one operating. In fact, I have a cool story about this. We were driving to work today, and they're putting in like 300 or 400 homes on the south side of the road when we're driving into work. And so they've got kind of it's a 4-lane road. They've got the 2 inside lanes, so the fast lanes closed, so they can have excavators going in because they're digging up the center line and putting in new concrete, new asphalt and all of that. And there was an excavator there today because they were kind of digging out some of the old road because they were extending the turn lane. You'll see where I'm going with this in a minute. They were extending the turn lane, and they had an excavator. Have you ever seen an excavator like 15 feet tall? I mean, I'm sure you've seen one of those. Let me show you. Excavator, you guys have seen it, bucket loader, whatever you want to call it. They had one of these working on the road and tearing up the dirt and stuff, and that was in the median and the concrete because they were trying to extend the turn lane back. And I was telling my wife that these things are actually really cool because some excavator operators are so talented that they can use that tool, what many people would think of as a brute force machine that is oftentimes 15 to 20 feet tall on the arm. They can use that excavator and they can twist the bottle cap off of a bottle. Like if you were to hold on to this really tightly, put it in a vice grip, they could sit here with that excavator and put enough pressure without crushing the cap and twist the cap off with an excavator that could probably hold about 3,000 pounds of stone and that has enough force to kill somebody if it hits them too hard. If you've ever seen video, don't ever do this. This is so dangerous. But people will go out on a beach and they'll hang on, they'll like put a rope swing on it and they'll just spin around. It's so dangerous. Don't ever do that. But the point is, these are very brute force objects. But because of the skill of the operator, they can take the bucket. Let me see if I can find an example of what I'm talking about here. They can take, here's a video, it looks like, beer bottle excavator trick. They can take these bottles and stack them on top of each other with the front and the back end of the excavator's bucket. That's because of the skill of the operator. And so that's what I'm talking. The point I'm making with this is that technical analysis or financial wisdom or whatever it is, whatever tool it is that you're using to try and build wealth, it's like that excavator. Ridiculously powerful. But if you don't know how to use that tool, it's completely useless. Brass tacks, the reason that this excavator is able to do this, stacking beer bottles on top of each other, and remember, I mean, you can see how large this thing is. The only reason that this excavator is able to do this kind of thing is because of the skill and the prowess and the wisdom and the knowledge of the operator. So that's what I want to encourage you guys to be, is wise. Not just savvy, but wise. If you're wise about the way the cryptocurrency market works, and if you're wise about the way to use technical analysis, you will go far. All right. Let's see. Eric Carter said, very kind, intelligent community. Thank you so much. We do have a great community. Zanoni Snowflake said, whoa, that's skilled. Used a cherry picker once. Yeah, cherry pickers are a lot of fun. You can take a cherry picker out to, if you guys are ever trying to think of a first date. I never did this because I never had access to a cherry picker. And funnily enough, I live in Florida, but we live literally as far away from the beach as you possibly can in Florida. We live 70 miles from the beach and or 60 miles from the beach. And the furthest you can be from the beach in Florida is 70 miles. So unless we were to move to Lake City, we couldn't possibly be further from the beach. Anyway, if you're ever trying to figure out a first date, most of the guys in this stream, I think, are a little bit older than that. But if you're ever trying to think of a first date or just a date, take a cherry picker out, watch the sunset. Now, of course, you'll have to be on the Gulf Coast or on the Californian coast, and take the cherry picker out to the beach. Watch the sunset on the beach. Get in the cherry picker. Rise up, and you can get to watch the sunset twice because you can get in that cherry picker and rise all the way up to see the sunset again faster than the sun will set. It's pretty cool. I live 3 blocks from the beach. I lived many years less than a mile from the beach. I just don't right now. G. Rooks 504 said, I know how to drive an excavator, lol. Yeah, they are pretty fun. They are pretty fun. Now eat a Mento. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that sounds like a hoot, doesn't it? Let's see. Lol, everyone here is awesome. Well, thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoy the community. Let's see. I'm going to read chat here for the rest of the stream. Really appreciate you guys. If I was a member of CT2A, Bitcoin Trading Academy, do I get access to Club DeFi? Gas man, do. That is a great question. The fact is, if you were in CT2A, which 5,000 of you guys were, you have a 25% off coupon code waiting for you in Club DeFi. If you are interested in getting access to that coupon code, I would encourage you to go to cryptojebb.com. You can find our email over there, support@cryptojebb.com. Shoot us an email, support@cryptojebb.com. We will give you that coupon code and a link to use it to sign up for Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis, and that will get you 25% off. We did that for all of our for all of our CT2A alumni because we wanted to give a big thank you to you guys. So make sure to check that out. All right. We're learning that concept from harvesting our self-grown food, which we are learning how to grow at same time as learning crypto. Started crypto first and been with twice as long. That's really cool. That is really awesome. Jesus flipped over tables. Bitcoin flipping tables. More indicators remove more emotion. Yep, that is a... They can also put in another kind of emotion, which I don't know if it's really emotion or so much as it is a state of mind. Too many indicators can put in confusion. So do be careful with that. So what indicators do you trust the most? One of my favorite indicators, see if I can stop that from coming out. Need to sneeze. I've gotten better over the years at just suppressing a sneeze while I'm on air because it's not very professional to just go, but I think I managed to stop that one. It's not comfortable, but such is show business. Tahoo Yahoo said, so what indicators do you trust the most? One of my favorite indicators is the chart. Guys, the best indicator that you're ever going to get access to is just the candle. You don't think of it as an indicator, but it really in a lot of ways is. It's just the price itself. I know that's the canvas upon which we're painting our technical indicators. But frankly, it really a lot of times is the best technical indicator that you're going to get is just reading the straight up price. See, the thing is, all these technical indicators, all these lines, they're here for your sake, guys. When I'm doing technical analysis, I can kind of just look at a screen or look at a chart. See if I have a Bitcoin chart that's not marked up. I can kind of just look at a chart. I'm going to be able to tell myself, okay, I see this, I see this, I see this. And sometimes I'll draw I'll draw this downtrend right here, just to kind of have a visual representation, just to help me remember if there's a lot going on a chart, then I'll draw some. But a lot of times I don't even really draw what I'm looking at. I just kind of see it and I think about it. And I'm like, okay, it's doing this, doing this, doing this. And that's because I've been in the market so long that I have something that another YouTuber one time, like 6 years ago, famously called chart vision. I just have chart vision. I can just see what's going on in this chart. Like I look at this chart. This is Ethereum over US dollars. And I just see that, yep, there's an uptrend right here. We broke above it. Yep, there's a flat level of resistance right here. We're trying to use it as support. Yep, there's an uptrending level of support right here. It's in a trading channel. We're sitting in the middle of it. We're sitting in the middle top of it. There's a zone of resistance that looks pretty important somewhere right around here. Oh, look at that. We broke above it briefly. I can kind of just look at a chart and ascertain a lot of that just off the bat. So the best technical indicator in my mind is the price itself, because that's like saying, let me put it this way. If you're in I like to use the relationship example. I'm married. I love my wife. A lot of my attention goes into how I can be a better husband to her. So I think about this a lot. The best indicator of how your wife is doing is talking to her. Right? Best way to know how your wife is doing? Ask her. Groundbreaking. All the men in chat said, what? I can do that? Yes, you can do that. 93% of our audience is male, and most of our audience is between the ages of 35 and 55. So a little bit older than me, probably married. So here you go, guys. Here's some relationship advice. One of the best things you can do is just ask your wife how she's doing. A lot of times she'll tell you. Same thing with crypto. A lot of times if you're trying to figure out what Bitcoin's doing, ask it. It tells you. It's communicating to you through the price action. Best indicator you can have, price action. That being said, sometimes you might, if you are married, look for other signs that your wife is trying to tell you, other indications, you might say, as to how she's feeling. Maybe she's a little droopy because she's a little sad. Maybe she's really excited because something great just happened. There are other indicators that can give you information. Best thing to do is just go and ask her. That being said, sometimes you can see through other indications as well. Maybe your wife's upset. She kicked something. We've all, not to put anyone down, we've all made mistakes. But, whatever it is, maybe you've seen something in your wife and there's an indication that something's going on below the surface. So that's where indicators come in. They are important too, but the best thing to do is to simply ask the market, hey, what you doing? It's showing you everything that's done so far through its price action, and that should give you an idea of where it's going. That being said, indicators are great. We love them. Use them every day. Let's talk about a few of them. One of my favorite technical indicators is LuxAlgo. Very simply, the reason I love LuxAlgo is because LuxAlgo does a great job of matching the purpose of technical analysis. How shall I explain this? LuxAlgo does a great job of matching the power of technical analysis to the predominant use case of technical analysis. Let me explain. 90% of the time, I almost want to say 95% of the time, but 90% of the time when people are listening to technical analysis, they're listening to technical analysis for one of three reasons. One, because they're trying to make a trade. Two, because they're trying to make an investment. Or three, because they're trying to be entertained. Right? You tell me that you're not here for one of those reasons. I'm pretty sure you're here for one of those reasons. LuxAlgo, in my opinion, does all three of those very well. It's very good at helping you to understand, okay, market just confirmed a downtrend. Remember, when we're trying to enter a trade, we're trying to enter a trade when we go from sideways to down, up to sideways, or down to sideways. We're trying to enter into a trade at one of these inflection points right here. LuxAlgo does a great job of telling you when those inflection points occur, but also telling you when they have been confirmed to occur through its buy signals and its sell signals. That's why I love its buy and sell signals and their confirmations so much. LuxAlgo does a great job, therefore, of stripping down the technical analysis and removing the obfuscations that make it difficult to understand and making it very clear that, okay, Bitcoin has changed trend now. That's where you enter a trade. Because ultimately, technical analysis, for the most part, is for trading and investing. Now, there's also the entertainment aspect of it, and we try to sprinkle quite a bit of that into the show, is that it's interesting to figure out where the market's going. It's interesting to play this game of, oh, I think it's going here. Let's see if I'm right. It's a little bit like playing Jeopardy. Like, the answer is blue goldfish. That's a thing? Sure. Let's see if that's the answer. Nope. Wow, that's surprising. It's interesting to play game shows, and that's kind of how we look at technical analysis sometimes also, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's interesting, right? It's just something that brings us happiness. We like to see what is going to happen next. I think LuxAlgo does a pretty great job of that also. It kind of distills technical analysis down to just a few different indicators at its simplest, and then if you want to expand it out and then just turn on everything, then you can do that, and you can bring out all kinds of different technical indicators here on LuxAlgo. You can make it super complicated with just the one technical indicator or bring out like the 7 others and really just go to town with it. So LuxAlgo is probably my favorite technical indicator. And I do say that even though, yes, they are a sponsor of this channel. And I do say that even though, yes, it is a paid indicator. Those are not the reasons I'm saying that, though. I'm saying that because genuinely it has been the most helpful indicator of any of the ones I've ever used. Moreover than RSI, moreover than MACD, moreover than a lot of the foundational technical indicators. And the reason for that is because of everything I just said. It makes it so plain and clear when the market's going where it is, and it can justify it and say we have a lot of confidence in this because there's historicity there that you can go back and look and say, wow, this indicator is accurate. Does a pretty good job. So if you're interested in LuxAlgo, like I am, you can get access to it by using the link in the description box down below. Use coupon code JEBB30, JEBB30 for 30% off at checkout. Was not even trying to do a sales pitch there. I'm just genuinely trying to answer that question, and that is my genuine answer. All right, we have a super chat I missed. Mark Zweigart. Hope I got that right. Jebb, can we get some suggestions on low-cap AI projects that have big potential? We know the major ones, but what are some early-stage gems? I'll be honest. I know my forte. I know my expertise. I know my field of study. That is not it. I'm not an expert in the area of small cap coins, and the reason, very simply, is because I think a lot of them will fail. That's not to say every one of them will, but I think given 20 years, almost every single altcoin outside of the top 100 will be worth zero or next to zero because I think the majority of them are driven by hype. That's not to say that you can't make gains, because you certainly can. You can certainly invest in a small cap altcoin, make a ton of money, and then exit. But the problem with a lot of them is that they don't have any underlying intrinsic value, and you're only making money because somebody else bought higher than you did, and they're going to end up getting screwed. So it's a wealth transfer from the people that get in early. From the people that get in late to the people that got in early. That's not to say that they're Ponzi schemes. That's not to say they're pump and dumps. That's not to say that there's any fault at the creator's level for that. I'm just saying that that is how it typically works. A lot of these cryptocurrencies will rally one time, and then they'll never retain those all-time highs, and they're just not going to keep going up forever and ever and ever. So I don't typically look in all low caps because I have found that there's plenty to do in the top 5 to top 10. Again, I'm not knocking low-cap gems. There are some low-cap gems, but it is not my field of expertise. So unfortunately, Mark, I can't really give you a honest answer to that because that's not my specialty, and I would want to give you a good answer if I was going to give you one. Colin McDonald said, alpha the like, people. Absolutely, thank you. Tristan Williams said, been a while. Hope the family has been well. Jebb, love to all. Thank you so much, Tristan. Yes, we're doing pretty well. Thank you so much. All right, we've also got a member chat from Shadrach Frost, who's been a member for 20 months. Scripture of the day, 1 Corinthians 6, 9 through 11. You're going to make me look this one up. I was just in 1 Corinthians this morning, actually. Our daughter is named after 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7. 1 Corinthians 6, 9 through 11. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of God. And such were some of you, but ye are washed, ye are sanctified, but ye are justified in the name of the Lord Jesus by the Spirit of our God. Amen. Amen. He said it, LuxAlgo. Yes, I do love LuxAlgo. Zanoni Snowflake said, loving your analogies and metaphors. Thank you. What's a blue goldfish, Jebb? Come on. Well, Travis, that was the point. I was trying to make a complete and total joke of a reference. That was the joke. Cryptopher donated 2.49 euro. Is it 2 euro? What is that? 2 euro and 49 cents? Is it cents? What do you think of altcoins like XVG, DGB, and XLM? Yeah. So out on the verge, let's just see. Let's give a joke answer. Verge makes me think of the out on the verge, the Firefly song. This cryptocurrency used to be way higher, like way higher in market capitalization. It was one of the highest ranked market capitalizations back when I got in the space. This is kind of what I'm talking about, though. Look at this. Went to a $3.2 billion market value. Went all the way up to 22 cents. It's now trading massively lower than that. Whatever the project is doing, that is not a cryptocurrency that you want to invest more than like 20 bucks in. I understand if you're thinking, oh, well, it could just moonshot one day. Yeah, great. That's great. Somebody said, no new roadmap, no plans, no. Low volume, dead projects, just take a swing trade. Pump is coming, let's buy. Yeah, but think about probably the best price to jump in. There's some disagreement over here on CoinMarketCap. What are you going to do with this price action? How do you justify this? Would you buy a stock that looked like that? I wouldn't. I would not touch a stock that looked like that. DGB, that's Digibyte. Digibyte's been around the block. It's been here for a long time. I remember when it was in the top 20 back in 2017. It was worth over $1 billion at one point. Now, its major rally here on the altcoin during the altcoin season actually took it higher than the first one did, unlike Verge. This is another one that you could put a tiny percent of your portfolio in. I would be very careful about that. Stellar Lumens, probably the most legitimate of the three you mentioned, is a competitor with XRP. I'm not well-versed enough in Lumen's project to tell you whether or not I think that it is a good project right now. What I will say is I think it is a lot more legitimate than the other two. Not to say that the other two are illegitimate in that they are that the creators are lying or something, just that they, I don't think, make legitimate investments. They're not good investments. This one, on the other hand, maybe you'd have to do some more research into the actual project itself, though. All right, guys, we are going to go ahead and wrap out here in the next couple of minutes. Really, really appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. What are the settings you use on LuxAlgo? Sure thing. Over on LuxAlgo here, I have, if it will let me open, sometimes TradingView does this thing where I can't open my settings. See, it's not just LuxAlgo. I can't open my 4MAs either. Nevertheless, I think it'll show me here. I use 12 and 26 in the signal sensitivity and the signal strength. I can just go ahead and refresh the page, and that might help. Give me one moment. TradingView is giving me some trouble today, guys. I apologize. Here we go. So I use these three: trend catcher, reversal zones, dashboard, signal sensitivity at 12. And confirmation signals agility, where is it? Where's my confirmation signals agility? Did they move it in the most recent update? Oh my goodness, Sean. I think he moved it. It's called confirmation signals agility. Either way, I use 12 up here for signal sensitivity, and that might just be, with the way they set this up now, they may have just locked in the other one at 26. So I would set this to 12, and I think you'll be good. That would be my setting. Very simple. Very, very, very simple. I don't get too complicated with LuxAlgo. I think it's great. All right. Guys, I am going to have to go ahead and wrap it out. I really do appreciate all of you guys tuning in. If you did enjoy today's stream, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned because we've got new content coming out relatively soon. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.